And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. Of course, another day, another great show, another great artist to feature here. Of course, yesterday, if you guys missed it, country icon Josh Turner came by the Backstage Pass, presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey, and of course, out there at Honky Tonk, Texas. If you missed the Josh Turner interview, it's out there wherever you can find podcasts. Just type in the Backstage Pass, and of course, some exciting news. This is great to unveil this too as well, and it's all about growth in this business. So I want to thank the fine folks at LMNOC Broadcasting. That's the largest media radio group serving northern New Mexico and southern Colorado. It's a wide array of radio formats. They have now picked up the Backstage Pass. We'll be starting that the next couple of weeks on True Country, KKTC 99.9, and of course out there too as well. With another great FM station there, Mix 106.5, KXXF, serving the southern part of Colorado and the northern part of New Mexico. And I'm excited about that too, with growth and everything else. And it really depicts my artist I'm featuring today. She loves Canadian country. We love her. She's been on here before. I think the last time we caught up was Tea Time, somewhere back then, somewhere last summer.
Yes.
Alex Hughes back here on the program. What's going on?
Hey, Brandon, thanks so much for having me, and huge congratulations too. What an exciting day. I feel honored that I'm the guest here today to celebrate with you.
It's a lot of fun, no doubt. We'll start that in the next couple of weeks. And it's cool for me to showcase talent from all over the world, not just Nashville and here in Texas for artists out there, but even in Canada and everywhere out there. So you guys now get a little piece of kind of the West Coast and the great I-25 corridor that goes from Mexico into Pueblo, Colorado too. But hey, a lot has been going on in your camp too out there. Love it. And let's talk about kind of what's been going on since Tea Time, because I know for you, a lot of things have changed. The growth as an artist, and you've seen some just pretty cool things happen. Kind of update me since the release of Tea Time as to what's going on in the Alex Hughes country music camp.
Yeah, well, no, thank you. It's been quite a journey since the release of Tea Time, and I've been so incredibly blessed to have so many opportunities. You know, the Alberta and the Canadian country music scene really seem to be flourishing right now, and it's really exciting to be a little part of that. I've had opportunities to play at some of the big festivals. So I played the Calgary Stampede Nashville North tent, and I was actually out in Hamilton just a couple weeks ago for Canadian Country Music Week. So I've just been, continuously trucking along and, trying to keep writing and keep getting better and keep releasing new and exciting music. So this current release, I'm really proud of, and I'm really excited about.
Yeah, until this fire dies, we'll talk about that in a little, just a second here. Came out there just a few weeks ago, at the end of September. Talk about the music video for Tea Time. You guys had a lot of fun. I got a chance to see this on social media, which is really cool out there too. And now I got a two-part question here. Was that your favorite music video to do? And kind of give us a little backstory of the song.
Yes. Thank you for watching it too. It was definitely a lot of fun to shoot. I honestly couldn't believe that I convinced my husband to come be in the video. And that was pretty fun and hilarious to see him live out his childhood dreams of wanting to be an actor, because he honestly was much better than I was at most of all the scenes. So the fact that he got to kind of star in it and show off his golf swing, which was very important to him. He was looking back at the takes, trying to make sure that they were, good swings he could be proud of. So it was a lot of fun. And I think it was probably one of my favorite videos this far, for sure.
Anytime you can shoot those music videos, always a good thing too. You mentioned about just the Canadian kind of country scene just very flourishing, and we've seen that over the past. Just had Devin Cooper on the show the other day. So many great people are doing things. I don't know if it's something in the water or what's going on up there too that you guys are drinking or kind of getting into, but this Canadian scene is really flourishing. I'm seeing a lot of artists now, moving into kind of, I don't want to say invading, but kind of, taking over Nashville too as well, and getting their music out more. And I think this is a result of the grind, the hard work, everything that everybody does to put their name and their brand out there. Talk about that and kind of elaborate a little bit more on just the scene now with Megan Patrick and, of course, all these great stars. Carolyn Dawn Johnson still doing her thing after, 20, 25 years in a career. This is awesome to see from the Canadian country music scene.
Yeah, no, you're so right. It's been pretty incredible to see that not only are there these country music stars that have been at it kind of for a long time and are still out there performing and even helping mentor and bring up the next generation of artists. But you're right in that the scene's flourishing too. It really seems like there's a big love for country music here in Canada. So there's lots of festivals and shows and support, and there's so many of us artists that are pursuing it. And one thing that really helps is there are a lot of opportunities for artist mentorship and stuff that are provided, through our different provincial organizations. So it's a really exciting time, and there are lots of us artists that are also taking the leap down to Nashville, and it's just been a really exciting time. It's cool to see.
Got to ask you about After 31, which came out there, I know, shortly, I guess, during that whole pandemic situation there when it started there, March of 2020, and it lasted about a year and a half. You guys were still putting out music, and of course, a very tough time for everybody to get through. Talk about After 31 and just how excited you were to just continue to put music in the fans' hands that they could be excited about.
Yeah. After 31 is a really special song to me. I wrote that with a couple of friends, Lydia Sutherland and Parker Gray, who are also fantastic Canadian country artists. And we wrote that over Zoom, which was kind of exciting because really during COVID, people were a lot more open to having these interactions on social media instead of, or just, on the web. So it was kind of cool to get to write and connect with people that were, outside of my normal network. And we wrote the song, and I actually recorded it completely remote with a producer in Nashville. And I used that opportunity to learn how to record my own vocals at home. So now I have my own little setup. So overall, it was just an incredible learning experience. And it just felt so good to be able to still create music and connect with people and connect with fans, even though, we all felt like we were isolated in our own little worlds.
I'm gonna go back to your first EP that was out there because I loved a couple of songs out there. I had to touch on it, but we probably did this before on a past episode. But for me, at the same time, I just love going back to reality. And where I'm going with this is somebody can snap back to reality
yes.
here on sportsguyspodcast.com and of course out there hightidecountry.net. Tell me about the first EP, because a lot of people still love, and I read out there too, and I watch socials, love songs off of here. Do you still put some of these in the set? And is that one of the favorite ones that fans come to shows to see you perform?
Yeah, you're right. And thanks so much for taking a listen to the original, the OG stuff. That's cool. Yeah. It was such a special EP to be able to put out into the world. It was the first experience I had really officially working in the studio. And I was younger, so the subject matter of the songs is a little bit different and sort of changed and kind of matured as I've gotten a little bit older. But what I really love and what I think is really special about that EP is I wrote that all myself. So those are all solo writes, and they're all just really from my heart, and they're true to all the kind of things that I was going through at that time. So for me, when I listen to it, it's almost like a stamp in time. I can go back and really remember, how I felt in those moments. And you're right. I do love to still bring out some of those songs during shows. Snap Back to Reality is definitely one of them. And then one that I still perform quite a bit is Come Close to Me, because that's been a bit of a fan favorite. So
I love that. It's always good to listen to the OG stuff too out there, which is
it is
fantastic too. Then you came out with another great song I loved in 2019, right there before the pandemic, one called "Strong as You," and I thought this was just a beautiful country song in itself, in its own right. It really explains just everything about just life in general and lifting somebody up. This was a very much one of those anthems I can listen back to, like, this is real down home, real kind of country music here. Tell us all about this one. I probably asked you about it before, but for the listeners out there, especially on the new stations that we're on now, tell us all about this one.
Yeah, so Strong as You is a really special song as well. It was the first song that I released as sort of my new project. And I wrote it with my friend Aaron Pollock, who actually wrote the current single Until This Fire Dies with as well. So we've had quite a long really great writing relationship. And this song, I really struggled to write love songs. I'm very protective about kind of feelings that, I don't know, there's just something about it. It always seems easier to write the breakup song. I think a lot of artists say that. So this one, I really wanted to write a song that sort of highlighted the fact that, sometimes when you're in a relationship that's really exciting, sometimes there's just nothing better than that feeling of being with them. So this sort of hook of the song is like, I could be sipping on gin, hanging out with my friends, doing all these things. But really nothing is as strong of a buzz as this person. So
It's a great song, Strong as You, out there across all the digital platforms. And again, all the music we're talking about today is out there for your listening pleasure if you've not purchased already or streamed. I mean, just get Apple Music and all your problems are solved. Just do it that way. And
Absolutely.
that's the best way to do it. That's the subscription I have too, as well. And now I
Yeah.
know it came out. It's like, yep, payday for Apple Music, and go ahead and do that. And of course, I love listening to all the great artists that we have here on the program here. We're back. We're going to take a quick time out, get a word in for our break here, of course. Bangtail Whiskey and our friends over at honkytonktexas.us, a website out there. Small little dance hall, crown jewel here in Silsbee, Texas. We love talking about here too. And of course, now the Backstage Pass presented by our great sponsors and LMNOC Broadcasting, the largest media radio group serving northern New Mexico and southern Colorado. Wide array radio formats, KKTC Country, proud to join. And of course, our friends at KXXF. More on that coming up here in a few weeks. Alex Hughes here on the Backstage Pass. We'll take that time out. Also at hightidecountry.net and powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com out there too. If you missed any interviews, they're always archived at that very website. More with Alex Hughes here coming back. We'll talk about the new single and a couple of songs coming up here on the show. Stay tuned for that. More to come. Stay tuned.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show, coming up here in a few weeks, country great Carolyn Don Johnson right here on the Backstage Pass. David Cook, winner of American Idol a few years ago, and a whole lot more here as we're now on True Country KKTC 99.9 FM. And, of course, soon to be KXXF, which is Mix 106.5, right there in the southern tip of Colorado and the northern part of New Mexico, LMNOC Broadcasting. And you still hear us at hightidecountry.net. And, of course, the sportsguyspodcast.com. Back here with Alex Hughes on the program. That's just a mouthful to say all that in one or two sentences now.
You did great.
You tried to.
Yeah.
Especially when you're unveiling something new. You never know how it's going to go out there, too. Well, hey, tell us about this fire of a new single, and I love it until this fire dies. No pun intended there. But it is a fire of a single because I love it so much. And the fact is, this really takes a listener on the ride from start to finish, and really a very special song. How did this come about?
Thank you. Yeah. So this song it's actually a song that I've had in my back pocket for quite a while. And it's definitely been a fan favorite that I've been singing at live shows for years. I actually wrote it back in I think it was 2020 when I wrote it. So it was just before things sort of shut down. So it was actually an in-person write with my friend Aaron Pollock. And he came with like a little bit of more of a cool kind of sultry guitar line, which are the types of hooks that I tend to lean towards, just having like a little bit more of an R&B influence in my musical taste. So as soon as he started playing it, I was like, ooh, that's really cool. And we started kind of playing around with some melody ideas, and the lyrics sort of just flowed and sort of fit in with that kind of sultry vibe, sort of telling the story about this very passionate, fiery romance. But then the lyrics kind of turn and they, turn around to say that, that fire will never burn out, and the relationship kind of turns into something more meaningful. So that's kind of how it came about.
I listened to it a lot over this past few weeks since it came out there. I love it so much.
Thank you.
September 29th. And it's just like a rotation. You put it right there in the mix of all the great artists you're listening to here on the show, the previews of who's coming up and things like that too. And now we're taking this to major FM country radio. So I know you guys are going to get a lot more listeners out there on the streaming side too. And I've done my job. If y'all get
yes,
that's all you can ask for too. I'm going to let you.
It's appreciated.
No, always. We appreciate you guys for making this show possible too. Until the Fire Dies from Alex Hughes. Good place to start. You want to perform that one for us here?
Sure, I'd love to. Right. Yes.
All
okay.
Yours. Take it away.
You put your hands on me, feels like a spark hitting kerosene. I don't know what it means. don't last. Here in a heartbeat, gone in a flash. So let's do what we know feels right, even though we know it's just for one night. Yeah, I'm scared. Wildfire catches and turns into ashes, but I don't care. We'll burn bright till we burn out. Baby, don't be shy. Come on, let's let the flames get high. And tonight, I can take your mind off anything you want, as long as you take your time. You could be mine until this fire dies. Yeah, I'm scared. This is something I can't quite run from, but I don't care. 'Cause we ain't ever gonna burn out. Baby, don't be shy. Come on, let's let the flames get high. And tonight, I can take your mind off anything you want, as long as you take your time. You could be mine until this fire dies. Oh, until this fire dies. Oh.
I love Alex Hughes here on the Backstage Pass. I love this single. It is fire out there too, and definitely doing well at country radio up there too, and definitely in Canada, one of the top Canadian country music artists here on the Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com, and of course out there, hightidecountry.net, and now KKTC Northern New Mexico's Heritage New Country FM, and of course all the new artists, new hits, and all the good stuff. And Mix 1065 KXXF, soon to be KXXF, out there serving the parts of northern New Mexico and, of course, southern Colorado out there, too, at the same time. Hey, we'll take another time out here for our friends at Bangtail Whiskey and, of course, out there at Honky Tonk, Texas. More to come here, too, including rapid fire. We got to do that out there, too, to get some new questions in to ask Alex about hobbies and a whole bunch of other stuff out there, too. And, of course, as we close the year, some things that she's looking forward to, goals, and other good stuff out there, too. We're back in a flash here on the Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys podcast.com, and now on KKTC Northern New Mexico's Heritage New Country FM. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And of course, now headed to Major FM Country Radio out there. Excited about that too at the same time. And thanks to KKTC Northern New Mexico Heritage, the New Country FM, for having us on the station now too. And of course, soon to be KXXF Mix 1065 out there in Northern New Mexico and Southern Colorado. Our friends at LMNOC broadcasting too. And Alex Hughes gets the first show on the new FM stations. How about
Crazy.
that? Roll of the dice, which is good out there too, which is great. And of course, we'll be playing all the best country out there too, the newer country, and of course, some of the greats in there too, in the rotation of songs. And pleased to be a part of the great lineup. Thanks to my buddy Mike Kennar for making everything happen out there too. And of course, you can still catch us at hightidecountry.net and out there in podcast land, the Sports Guys podcast.com. So let me ask you this: as far as we close the year now, and I'm staying busy, I'm not going to relax here. Maybe a few weeks, I'll probably take a little vacation to get away from everything, right? What are you most looking forward to? The holidays itself, Christmas coming up, closing the year, any new songs, goals, I guess, set for yourself as we close 23 and go into 2024?
I love that question. That's great. Yeah, I think I'm really excited about, really pushing this song and getting it out there sort of as kind of long as we can. And then I really look forward to taking some time and to spend some time with friends and family over the holidays and just kind of relax and enjoy some quality time with people I love. So.
It's a good thing too. Now, as far as next projects, I mean, this one's already doing well for you. Has this been pushed to country radio? You look until for this one to be pushed out there if it hadn't already?
Yes, yes. So we're at all Canadian country radio stations. So that's been really
Sure.
exciting, and yeah, it's I'm looking forward to having this song out there and working towards the next ones in the new year. So
I love it too. Hey, talk about your songwriting because I know you've mentioned this on previous episodes that we've done in the past. When it comes to your songwriting, what do you enjoy most about the whole process of it? And a lot of people say, a lot of times, artists I talk to here on the program, it's like therapy. It's just good to get your thoughts on paper and then see them come to true life in the studio. Tell us about the Alex Hughes theory of songwriting.
yeah, I think I might be a little bit of I might be one of the oddballs in songwriting in that I love my favorite thing is vocals. So I love when I can get into the studio and start laying down those final vocal
Mhm.
tracks. That feels like it's the reward. And so I think it's just so cool to, as a songwriter, to be able to be there in the moment before the song is even a song and create and craft lyrics and a story and then this vocal melody, and then to be able to take that to the final product and have it in the studio and use that to sort of really bring the song to life. I think the performance of the vocals can really make or break the sellability of a song. So I really love trying to enjoy the process of the songwriting itself, but then the reward for me is
Mhm.
is in the production.
When it comes to early in your career, and I know you're at this, you're grinding every single day. Give me a kind of a two-part here. What's been the most challenging part of being a country music artist, and then for in turn, kind of the flip side of that, what's one of your most exciting things that has really happened for you as an artist to kind of that two-parter right there?
Well, that's a great question, and you're so right. It's I think it's just the most challenging part is the ups and downs,
Mhm.
and it's not like other careers that are more stable. It's, you have this really high amazing moment, and then you have these moments that are feelings of disappointment, or lulls in creativity, or even just within your own career. So I think that the ups and downs can really be a struggle, but I think it's important to try to find ways to sort of push through those and even have the support of a good team, and then good people around you to kind of help build you up when you kind of need it, and then have your back, and remember to try to help keep you grounded too, because that's the moments that are big and then the moments that are tough are really tough. So
You remind me so much of someone who just has a great heart and love what they do and a great passion out there too. And I got a chance when I started my radio career back in the late '90s. Yeah, I'm showing my age now, but I started very young when I was 18, and I
yes.
did a number of jobs, which is
Very
really I
cool.
love that too out there. And now 20 years later, I'm still doing what I love,
Mhm.
and it's awesome to do that. And part of that was because I appreciated '90s country music, and I know being from Texas here, we've got Clay Walker, Mark Chestnut, George Jones. I mean, the home down here, Tracy Bird, all that good stuff, and all those guys are very synonymous with the brand. For you growing up, who made you tick as an artist? Who were you listening to?
I think we might have talked about this before, but
We
I think
probably have.
yeah. My and I love 90s country too, but who really was my first taste of country music that I absolutely fell in love with was actually Leanne Rhymes.
Hmm.
And through listening to her, I got her Blue album. I think I was 7 or 8,
Hmm.
and I was obsessed with it, listened to it front to back over and over and over and over again. And through listening to her, I actually kind of discovered artists like Patsy Cline and any of, the older kind of that drove me in the direction of discovering, the history of this kind of music. And even at that young of an age, I just really started to grow an appreciation and love for it. So, yeah, I think country music, it's pretty amazing. It has this long history of incredible performers.
Really does too, and you're right there with it too when it comes to them. I can't wait to see you on maybe that Grand Ole Opry stage one day, doing what some of these great Canadian artists have done. Megan Patrick just recently, and a whole bunch more have done that too, and graced that stage and just really poured their heart and soul out to that. And I really feel like you kind of fit that mold of just what a
No,
great
thank
Grand Ole
you.
Opry artist needs to be down there, especially in Nashville, Tennessee. And I actually got a chance to go the first time to see a show at the Opry this past March during our country radio seminar
Amazing.
coverage that we did up there too. And me and my co-host Kirsty Krause, we got to go there, sit in the seats, and it was low cash, and sit there and watch Brantley Gilbert just win over an
Wow.
audience, and all these great things. Jeannie Seeley, who's been involved in country music for a long time, longest performing member at the Opry of 50 plus years, and to see her sing and just just like angels flying out of her mouth. It's
Oh,
just
I
a beautiful.
bet. That's amazing. And
So
what a place to get to experience that for sure.
absolutely too. So I really feel like your music really fits
Oh,
everything what we do here on the station. I love it so much, and just so glad to have you here on the show. Well, I tell you what, I know you've got a lot of great songs, including Tea Time, which I love so much, and everything we've talked about today is downloadable out there, and also alexhughes.com. Make sure you guys do check that website out. One more performance. I want to turn it over to you again.
sure.
Let's do another one, if you will. And
Absolutely. Yeah. We were talking about my song After 31, and I don't think I've had a
Mhm.
chance to sing it on here yet. So
Okay,
yeah, I'll play you
I'm
that
honored.
one. Okay.
Here we go.
16, fighting with your mom like she's your enemy. At 18, she's picking up the pieces after he leaves. At 20, trying to be the life of every single party. At 23, start to notice you shouldn't trust everybody. Every lesson you don't see it coming. Every mistake's gotta teach you something. It feels like you lived a whole life before you hit it. And if it's just a number, then why does it feel different? Is it the pressure to have it all together? Yeah, I wonder if you don't figure it out by 30. What comes after 31? Yeah, what comes after 31? At 26, you're looking at that house, but you can't afford it. 28, still going out on a bunch of dates. 29, you're getting pretty tired of everyone saying you still got time. When it feels like you lived a whole life before you hit it. And if it's just a number, why does it feel different? Is it pressure to have it all together? Yeah, I wonder if you don't figure it out by 30. What comes after 31? There ain't the house they mean nothing without all of the years of you. Feeling like you lived a whole life before you hit it. Yeah, it's just a number. Trust me when I say don't let the pressure to have it all together make you worry about what comes after 31. What comes after 31?
I'm ready for a concert. I just can say that too. It's almost Friday too. I love her sound. She's one of my
That's so
favorites.
nice.
No,
I'm a
I
huge
just
fan.
love it. Acoustically, full band, it doesn't matter. You can sing the phone book. I love it out there too, which is fantastic. And it's After
Thank you.
31 from Canadian country artist Alex Hughes. Here it is, the Backstage Pass, so powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com, also out there at HighTideCountry.net. And of course, the announcement today, big news for us here. KKTC Northern New Mexico's Heritage New Country FM has picked up the Backstage Pass, of course, also Mix 106.5. KXXF soon to be your home, of course, out there for KKTC, playing new artists, new hits, and just very excited to join the programming lineup there, serving Northern New Mexico and Southern Colorado. LMNOC Broadcasting has now picked up the Backstage Pass out there too. And I tell you what, this is great because the holidays are coming up. I feel like I've been blessed. Let me ask you this, as far as family time and hobbies and things away from music, what are you most looking forward to? Maybe catching up on some hobbies or things for fun when you're not doing music? What are those?
Yeah, well, thanks for asking. Yeah, I think one thing that I do to just completely free my mind is I really enjoy baking. So especially during
Okay.
the holidays, I like to just kind of get lost in the kitchen, baking something, listening to some playlist, and just really having fun doing that. So I'm looking forward to hopefully doing some of that.
and for me, I'm like, one of my tasks is going to be putting together my old smoky, and went and got one of those too to barbecue and throw some meat on. So
that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, some friends are actually coming down from Canada to visit in
nice.
Edmonton, Alberta, the province, and just come down here and spend some time and spend a little more money. Enjoy that too. But that's a part of a week off of vacation too that radio and of course the day gig give us down here too. But at the same time, definitely looking forward to just continuing to preview great artists and listen to great music out there too, and really having some of that downtime, because my middle name is never in the kitchen.
Okay.
My wife knows I don't do the cooking in my household. She does. But some of the barbecuing and stuff like that, we'll keep it done, or at least some outside chores.
Amazing.
Do due diligence. Hey, what was the first song you ever sang live on stage? And it can be a cover. What was it?
It was, I think it was either Blue, Leanne Rimes, or My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion, and I can't remember which one came first.
The fact that you remember that is still a feat in itself, that you remember something like that at the same time as well. All right, when it comes to an Alex Hughes pizza, what toppings go on it? What are your favorites?
Ooh, I'm a big pizza lover and I love them all, but I've been really into just a quattro, but with blue cheese, good fun funky cheese with a drizzle of hot honey on it.
Ooh, hot honey. I've not tried that too.
So good.
Next time I'm up there. Hey, I did try poutine for the first time there a few years ago when I was up there visiting those same friends, and I knocked it out of the park. I wasn't the cheese, it was still good. What I liked about it was it get me a good side of brown gravy.
Oh yeah,
that was good to go with the fries.
Yeah, see, and poutine's great too, but I'll go for just the gravy with ketchup too, and I'll mix them together. But I know that people think that's gross.
But now you're gonna make this guy here try. The next
you gotta try it.
Ketchup and gravy, and I'll get back to you on how good that was too as well. Hey, I love her music so much, guys. Make sure you go out there and get the latest single out there, which is across all those digital platforms. Until This Fire Dies out there, from the great Alex Hughes. And of course, hey, congrats to all the success, and cannot wait when new music to come out 2024 and have you back on as a guest, and definitely always want to see you shine. Make sure you guys check out alexhughes.com. Thanks so much for being a part of this. And honestly, I look forward to doing it again in 2024.
Oh, thanks so much, Brandon. It really means a lot. Thanks for all you do to support artists and country music. And congratulations again on the big news. It's so exciting.
We're excited about that too. And of course, the home now, the Backstage Pass out there, KKTC, Northern New Mexico's Heritage, New Country FM, playing those new artists out there too, looking for that. Also, Mix 106.5, KXXF, serving the southern part of Colorado, Pueblo in that area, and of course out there Northern New Mexico. We're going to be streaming and having some big announcements coming up over the next few weeks, and still also at hightidecountry.net and powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. If you missed the Josh Turner interview, make sure you go check that out. As of yesterday, great segment with him too, again presented by our friend over at sandyjunemusic.com, and a whole lot more out there too. So some big things kicking off as we close out the year and get ready for 2024 too here for us here at the Backstage Pass, presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey and of course at Honky Tonk Texas. Go get the single and check out alexhughes.com. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Brand new group that I just heard of a few days ago, Gold Pine, coming here on the show. And of course next week, some great shows we'll have for you. Carolyn Don Johnson coming by here in a couple of weeks. I believe that's a Halloween episode there too. So definitely wear your costumes and be present here for your listening audience out there too, and check out some of the great artists that Canada has to offer out there. One of them is on the screen with us right now, alexhughes.com. We'll see you guys tomorrow with Gold Pine on the Backstage Pass. Until then, thanks to the fine folks at KKTC, Northern New Mexico's Heritage, New Country FM, and of course out there, Mix 106.5, KXXF, and our friends at hightidecountry.net. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. From all of us here at the Backstage Pass, have a great night. See you soon.